Two women, Melinda Elliott Kramer and Nona Brooks, one born in 1844 and the other in 1861, one raised in the Quaker faith, the other raised Presbyterian, both seeking to grow spiritually, one in San Francisco and one in Pueblo, and both in need of healing. Each came to beliefs that are the foundation of the divine science movement. The main founder, Melinda Elliott Kramer, was born in Indiana in 1844. Plagued by persistent health problems and upon a doctor's advice, in 1872, her family moved to San Francisco for the clean California air. There she soon married. Her health did not improve, and she lived as an invalid. Family and friends advised her to seek further medical treatment. She refused. Raised a Quaker, she prayed regularly. When asked what she planned to do, she said, "Get well, of course." And she prayed. In 1885, after spending an hour in meditation and prayer over her condition, Kramer had a divine revelation. She later said that that hour was the beginning of her realization of the oneness of life. Freed from the belief that her medical condition controlled her, she was healed within 2 years. Energized, she began informally teaching family and friends what she had discovered. Though the term was used earlier by Mary Baker Eddy and others, in 1887, Kramer began offering formal classes in divine science. She and her husband established the Home College of Divine Science in 1888. Meanwhile, she started Harmony, one of the first metaphysical magazines ever published. She became a major teacher in New Thought and began traveling the country offering classes. Nona Lovell Brooks, who would come to be described as a prophet of modern mystical Christianity, was born in Kentucky in 1861. She was raised in West Virginia, where her family moved their 11 children to avoid the violent Civil War. By 1886, she and her sisters Althea Brooks Small and Fanny Brooks James were living in Pueblo. Finances were poor. Nona was in ill health, unable to swallow solid food. A friend insisted that the sisters study with Kate Bingham. During the fourth lesson, Nona had her own revelation. She was flooded with a great light and was completely healed. Financial improvement quickly followed. She and her sisters were delighted, but they realized that their beliefs weren't in alignment with their teacher. Nona said, "We had at that time no thought of establishing a movement. We discussed the subject for our own satisfaction." In 1893, Melinda Kramer began training Nona, ordaining her in December 1898. With the name approved by Kramer, Nona established the Divine Science College in Denver. On January 1st, 1899, also with Melinda's blessing, Nona and her sisters established the first Divine Science Church of Denver. There, Nona became Denver's first woman pastor. She held the position for 30 years. After Kramer's death, it was to become the home church of the Divine Science denomination. At that point, Nona Brooks became recognized as the leading voice of divine science, and the movement continued to expand. By 1918, there were divine science churches in many large cities. At the height of her popularity, she decided to resign her pastorship. Despite strong opposition, in the early 1930s, she was granted a leave. She moved to Australia for several years, strengthening the divine science movement there. Upon her return, she often spoke at New Thought summer conferences. In 1938, she became president of the Divine Science College in Denver, a position she held until 1943. 2 years later, on March 14, 1945, only 8 days before her 84th birthday, Nona Brooks made her transition. Both women were prolific authors on the topic of divine science. Ventura Papke so believed in treatment that she didn't want to know the story. And it was that absolute faith in each person's perfection and oneness that made her such a powerful teacher, practitioner, and spiritual guide for so many. Ventura Papke was born in 1901 in Kansas City, Missouri, and born into a well-to-do family that deeply supported the Baptist Church. She was always a spiritual rebel who, at age 13, refused to attend the Baptist Church. Reluctantly, after a family fight, Ventura stayed in the church but left at age 18. When Ventura came to California in 1937, she had mended her feud with God and had progressed from being a Baptist to Catholicism, where she discovered her love of ritual and confession. Ventura said, "The Baptist church taught me that God loves me. The Catholic Church taught me how to pray, confess, and forgive myself." Then she embraced the teachings of unity and taught that for many years. Finally, she came to religious science when two people told her that she really belonged more in science of mind. Frustrated by their comments, Ventura was determined to prove them wrong. She investigated more, took a class, and she realized that she had finally found the teaching and knowledge she had been seeking all of her life. Papke had a unique relationship with Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind. Initially, Holmes's wife, Hazel, served as his practitioner. Upon Hazel's death, Ventura Papke became his practitioner and was responsible for several innovations in the process of spiritual mind treatment and roles of practitioners. At 94, she was still sought after as a practitioner. Dr. Papke influenced two generations of healers. On March 19, 1997, Ventura Papke made her transition, and thousands still remember her fondly. Kathy Sue Sagerson was one of two people interviewed for a blog. She remembers Ventura opening up each of their practitioner classes with the same affirmation: "I am an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto myself everything that I divinely desire, according to the thoughts, feelings, and mental pictures I constantly entertain and radiate. I am the center of my universe. I have the power to create whatever I mentally choose and accept. I begin choosing and mentally accepting the highest and best in life."